Hello to anybody out there watching these videos. I'm having a super relaxing day here, and I was just thinking about how so many people look up to the lifestyle of the rich and famous as if it's something to aspire to or something interesting there. And I like being different from that, and it feels relaxing to me to be different to that. It feels happy. It's fascinating with science, isn't it? How what we think so often is the total opposite of what the reality is, what the truth is. Like how people used to think the earth was flat, and then they went sailing and they explored and they experimented around, and they got to the edge where they thought the edge should be, and then they noticed the edge has just shifted. The edge is all the way over there now. You get to the next edge, and the edge has just shifted again. Someone has this genius idea that, oh, maybe it's a sphere. Totally unexpected. And it makes perfect sense that people would have thought that the earth was flat, because that was the appearance. And isn't that so much what the lifestyle of the rich and the famous is about? Appearance. So I came up with my own lifestyle that's way more relaxing, and I called it the lifestyle of the niche and the shameless, because it's way more niche to not be so rich in this Western culture, to not even really be focused on making money or monetary wealth or success, so-called success or so-called fame, and just work on, like I said in the ABCs of self-esteem, work on being famous with ourselves, work on being rich in health, rich in happiness, rich in the relationships, our family relationships, our relationships with our dearest friends and loved ones, making those really rich. And that's way more niche to me. Niche. The lifestyles of the niche. The niche and the shameless. Niche. I pronounce it niche. I suppose if I wanted to make it sound more rhyming with rich, I'd pronounce it niche. But it's way more niche to not be focused on money, from my perspective, in this Western culture, in this Western world that can be so focused on making money. And to be shameless about this, that there's no shame in not being focused on money, not being driven, not having a life that is driven, where we feel like we need to do all these things to make all this money so that we can do all these other things and have all these things, that too many people just end up so stressed out because of that. Too much. Too much on our minds. Too rushed. Too busy. So sometimes shifting the focus to just prioritize relaxing, having less, is way more niche. It's way more rare than being rich. And it's way more fulfilling. It's There's a lot less shame to it than being famous, because isn't that what happens so much to people when we get famous? We just end up getting shamed, like the tabloids or the media or different things come out, and we can end up feeling like shamed. Even though we're famous, so many people might aspire to that. It doesn't end up being like a fulfilling thing, like needing to run away from the paparazzi. Imagine having a life like that. I'm much happier just being a nobody and realizing that just being ourselves, just being a nobody is really being the best somebody that we could ever be, being happy with our families. I wanted to share some next level training with you all of one of my best friends, a family friend of ours. Our kids are best friends, and we became best friends. And as parents, we became best friends, our family friends. So this family friend of mine was doing a successful business, um, working working a lot, probably making a lot of money and working a lot of hours. And they were telling me, they would talk to me for a couple of years, 2 3 years. We would have these conversations about how stressful it is and how there's got to be a better way of living our lives that would be less stressful and make us happier with our families and less arguments. And we would talk about this, and my best friend, really, our best friends, my wife and I, the parents of our kids' best friends, they really wanted to go traveling. They really wanted to get some freedom and sell up their home with the big mortgage and big house full of many things, nice house, finish up with the business and just get a little caravan, something like this, and go traveling around Australia and just take a year off where they could relax and just have family time. And so we were talking about this for a couple of years, and they actually made it happen in the end. And I caught up with one of my best friends, one of that couple, not that long ago, and it was wonderful to see my best friend looking so radiant, looking so happy and relaxed and healthy. And I commented about this. It'd been about 18 months since I'd seen them last, and the time before that I'd seen them, they'd seemed so stressed and worn out and everything. And then they took off. Then they sold up their home and got a caravan and went traveling. I said, "Wow, look at you! You look so happy and healthy." And they told me that, yeah, they loved it. They got a lot of family bonding time with their kids and their partner, and they just went traveling around Australia in a caravan and relaxed. And that it worked so much better for them. They got so much closer as a family. Their family relationships so much closer, so much warmer, so much more time to be able to share and energy together. And they were telling me that they used to have all of these physical troubles like blood pressure problems and cholesterol problems and various different bodily, I suppose, bodily stress markers, uh, as well as they felt like their mind was so stressed out and they had so many difficulties in their mind. And they were telling me that all those different illnesses and infections in their mind and body were so much better, that they'd lost, I think it was 7 kilos. They felt like they were carrying too much weight, and they said that their craving for meat and animal products had gone from, like, if it was here, it was 10 out of 10 before they went traveling and relaxing and changing their lifestyle and getting that lifestyle of the niche and the shameless. That if their meat eating and things like that was up here at 10 out of 10, it came down to about 1.5 out of 10, they were telling me, and they were getting cravings to eat vegetables and things. And so it was a really beautiful story, and it was so nice just to see the big smile and the happiness and the relaxation. And I just saw my best friend just the other day, and it reminded me of them and their story, and I thought I really should share this on the YouTube channel because it's such a brilliant success. It's next level science of the mind training, just completely not chasing the lifestyle of the rich and the famous, and going for the niche and the shameless lifestyle. It's way more niche. It's way more rare to go for this and to get that richness in health and happiness and relationships and a really heavenly life. And when I saw my best friend walk along the road, I wanted to call out. I was just driving past, but the moment passed and I didn't get the chance. But I just saw the look on their face and how they were just strolling along the street, so relaxed, so happy looking. And it just makes me really happy for my best friends and their family, and inspires me. And I wanted to share this with you all to inspire you, to let you know that there's no shame in doing it this different way, and that a lot of the time what we think we're supposed to be doing with our life, why? Why do we think that we're supposed to be doing it that way? Why do we think we need to do all these different things? My best friend was saying to me that after they got back, they because they're living in such a small place and so simply now, that my best friend can do a lot of the school pickups and drop-offs, and that it's really special. They have all this time and they only have to work 1 day a week to cover the costs, where in the past I think sometimes they were working 6 days, maybe even 7 days a week, doing a bit of work sometimes. So they went for something really different and realized that there was no shame in it, and that actually there was so much more wealth available. The wealth that we've been taught and trained and educated, and that seems to be the mainstream that people are going for, is not really wealth. Like, our real wealth got sacrificed in rushing around and getting all stressed out. Our bodies, our minds, our brains, our nervous systems get burned out from chasing a lifestyle of things that we don't really need, that don't really make us happy, and that there is a better way that works much better. And it's the lifestyle of the niche and the shameless. There's no shame to it. It's just happiness. It works much better. And the environment, the animals, the human beings, everything, everyone will function much better when people realize that it's not actually, it's just like that example that I give of the flat earth. It's not a flat world. It's round, it's a sphere. The lifestyle of the rich and the famous isn't really something to aspire to. Could it be possible, what I'm telling you? Well, that's what I'm encouraging you to do with the Science of the Mind training program. All these videos, the whole program, all the different aspects of it, the blog, is getting you to question things and experiment and find out the results for yourself. Is it a flat earth or is it a sphere? Is the lifestyle of the rich and the famous really something to aspire to, or is it way more niche and shameless and way more wealthy in happiness and health and all the things that really matter in life, to go for the lifestyle of the niche and the shameless? Just like my best friend, just like me, it doesn't do anybody any harm. It's doing it a different way. Most people haven't caught on to this in the Western world, and more people come and tell me this, that people who don't seem to have money seem to be happier, like in countries where we say it's so-called not developed, not as developed as us, but they seem more developed in happiness than we are. So maybe we got it wrong. Maybe we didn't get it right. Maybe we don't know best and know better than people in developing countries. Maybe we need to learn. There's some really important things we need to learn about happiness and life and caring for each other and getting really wealthy, getting really rich, getting really famous with ourselves, with our family, with our best friends.